Hi, this is Kaery with Kaery Concealing, the Active Self-Protection Extra channel. And today we're at a Girl in a Gun National Conference in Colorado, and we're gonna ask Ms. Heather Reeves, we're gonna ask her the Instructor Insider questions when we come back.
Lucky Gunner is my recommended trusted provider of freedom seeds for range or defensive use. In stock, good prices, and rocket fast shipping are why I go back again and again. Because of new guidelines, I can't link their site or say it, but you're smart and you can find it with a simple Google search. Stick it to the man by paying them a visit today.
Welcome back. All right, so Ms. Heather, tell us a little bit about yourself and where people can find out more about you.
I co-own Wolverine Defense Academy in Portage, Michigan with my husband, and we have been instructing together for 15 years, which still seems crazy to me to say. And
You're too young. You're too young for 15 years.
I'm not. I just had a birthday, so here we are. I do a lot of pistol instruction, beginner through a little bit beyond our concealed carry class in Michigan. So we get into a couple of classes there, and then we host a bunch of instructors from all over the country. So we have a great time doing it. I absolutely love bringing new minds in and exposing my community to that.
Nice. For how long have you been an instructor?
15 years now. Okay. We'll have to kind of figure out the edit on that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry, Thomas.
No, that's good. 15 years. That's impressive. That's a little longer than I've been doing it.
Yeah.
And it seems like forever for me.
Yes, it's a long time, and when I look back on where I began versus where I am now, there are times where I truly wish I could go back and tell the first people that I instructed that I am so sorry.
Oh my gosh, yes. We were just talking about that last night, actually. I just want to apologize. I feel like I should pay them not only their class fee, but like interest on it and a bunch more.
And come back and just, I did a private lesson with a woman, actually, couple weeks ago, right in between TACCon and National Conference, and she was like, oh my gosh, like it's been forever since I've done a private lesson with you, and this is like totally different. She goes, not that it was bad before,
right,
but this is amazing. And I was like, I know, like I feel like I've really kind of hit my stride, but I also feel like I've been doing it so long now that there's times where I do feel like I can do it with my eyes closed, and I have to be present in the moment.
Yeah, I appreciate how you emphasize simplifying things. To me, something being simple is the biggest compliment in the world, because anybody can make something more complicated. It takes a lot of genius, in my opinion, to make things more simple, and you do that it appears effortlessly, especially for your students too.
I spent a lot of time thinking about analogies. During ASPIC, I got the moniker of being the analogy person.
Yes.
And I kind of wear that with pride because
you should. It's hard. It's really hard. That's why I call you, Heather. I need an analogy for whatever, and you go, and you throw it right out there. It's amazing. How do you do that?
Because I do it in my sleep, literally at times.
All right, young lady, what was your first gun and what's your current favorite gun?
My first gun was the original M&P 9mm compact.
The Shield?
No, not the Shield. Okay. The like M&P compact.
The itty bitty.
Yeah, they did. The Shield wasn't even out.
Yeah, it was right. 15 years ago, it wasn't. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so that was my first pistol. First gun. Honestly, I don't remember.
That's okay. What's your current favorite gun?
Current favorite gun would have to be Walther PDP F Series.
Ooh.
I love my CDP. I know that's kind of...
That's okay.
Like...
What do you love about it?
I can reach everything. My short thumbs aren't a problem. Like,
it's got that nice long slide lock lever.
It's there. My magazine release. I can actually hit the magazine release button the way they intend it to be hit. I can't complain.
And all this research they did to make that happen is pretty impressive. Too bad other companies aren't doing that.
I know. I wish more.
Hopefully it'll happen.
Maybe.
All right. Currently, what are you enjoying most about teaching? Like, what classes or topics are you enjoying most?
You know, I've really become reinvigorated for teaching our basic concealed handgun class in Michigan. We went through Masad Ayoub's class far too into this waited way too long. So take a class with Matt.
Yes, right away.
Do it.
Right away.
But we took his class last summer, and ever since then I've become really passionate about making sure people understand the legal ramifications of what they're taking on.
Yes.
And if I can get somebody who's on the fence to kind of confront that demon of like, is this really for me or not? And make them think critically about it, it's everything. And so that's where my passion is right now, which I didn't think I would say 15 years into this.
Right. Well, and it's so needed. I mean, the expert witness work that I've been doing, it genuinely breaks my heart that these people they don't know what they, we don't know what they don't know, but not only that, I was explaining to one, here's why, in my opinion, this is not a justified use of force by the parameters and the standards. And the guy was like, can you write that down for me? He'd never heard of things like ability, opportunity, jeopardy. He'd never heard of aggressor and what does imminent mean and those sorts of things. And it just killed me.
Yeah. And I've had a lot of people questioning about shots in the back recently, and so I've been using that definition of the midline a lot.
Yep.
I'm like, this and this carry the same weight, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
And so to see those light bulbs go on and to see people critically thinking about the responsibility that they're taking on by being an armed citizen is huge.
Well, one of the reasons I think, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but Force Science Institute asked Mr. John and Ms. Stephanie Neal to be ambassadors is to help spread the human factors issues so that people will better understand use of force situations, especially for officer-involved shootings and civilians as well. So
critically important.
Yeah. All right. What's one helpful hint you can share with instructors just starting out?
Just starting out, I would say, ooh, that's a really deep question. Sorry, Thomas.
I know. It is a deep question. Or maybe what would you like to have heard? What would have been helpful for you to have heard when you first started?
The best advice I can give is to keep being a student. Keep learning and keep pushing yourself, because you will always retain that feeling of this is what it's like to learn something new, and you have to keep that in mind with every student that you reach, because even at the highest levels, you're going to get the student who shows up who's not ready to be there.
Yeah. Yes.
And you
Good
can
point.
be the instructor who tells them, sorry, you're not ready to be here, get out. Or you can be the instructor who's going to build that bridge and who's going to welcome that person into that environment. And yeah, it may come with a lot of modifications, but if you can keep that idea fresh that you always have to be a student first, so that you can be the instructor that your student needs and not the instructor you think you want to be.
Oh, that's so good. Yes. Oh, and the instructor that they need, not the one that we think they need.
Yes.
Give them the class we think they need.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good for on the fly. That's good. All right, so what's the best piece of firearm or protection related advice you've ever received?
Oh my gosh, where do I start? Very, very basic, but the idea that every day you put that gun on, it comes with increased responsibility, but more so it comes with increased accountability for every action that you take, and that your ego cannot enter into that. I know that John says ego is not your amigo, but that idea that you have to shelve that. You have to steal a line from Roadhouse, you have to be the nicest person you know how to be until it's time to not be nice anymore.
Yeah.
And I know that that's kind of a hodgepodge, but when it comes down to it, I think that's the best advice that I've ever received, is that you can't walk around like you own the world because you put a gun on.
Right. Or that you're parking enforcement for the handicap zone, or that you're
the shopping carts being left in the middle of the parking lot, or anything else.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. All right, 2 more questions. If you could train with anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
Jeff Cooper.
Oh,
Jeff Cooper, because the more digging I do, the more I realize that most of what we learn these days is all traceable back to him.
Yep, I agree. Yep, I just interviewed Mr. John Farnham, which I still can't believe I got to do.
I know.
And that's what he said. He said that it all goes back to Mr. Cooper.
And after training with a number of notable names, they all talk about Jeff Cooper and about being around him, training with him, etc. And my mind is blown every time those folks open their mouths. So I'm like, it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah, yes. Oh man, if we could do it together, that'd be even better.
That would be so sweet.
All right, last question. If you could AI or RSO for anyone living or dead, who would it be?
AI or RSO for anyone living or dead. Admittedly, I have RSO'd or AI'd for several of the
big
folks.
names. I know.
So that being
or you could redo it again if you wanted to too, or you could even say what was your favorite AI or RSO experience too.
someone I haven't actually had a chance to do that kind of work for would actually be Brian Hill.
Okay.
And I really resonate with the way that Brian coaches a line.
Yep.
And so to be able to work with him and really kind of dive that much deeper into the way that his brain works,
Yes.
I think would be a phenomenal experience.
Yeah,
So
I'm with ya.
hopefully maybe one day he'll
Yes.
take pity on me and let me hang out with him enough.
I bet if you reached out, he would say, sure. He's a kind man, that's for sure.
He is.
Well, thank you for your time, Miss Heather. I appreciate you answering our Instructor Insider questions.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we'll see you later.